Story 1. Leave out all the rest. When my time comes, forget the wrongs that I have done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed, and do not resent me. When you are feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. My best friend chose to leave this world a few years ago, and I cannot help but wonder if he felt this way. Story 2. Hiren. This content contains strong language and dark themes related to mental health, but it ultimately conveys an uplifting message. Story 3. Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. Our son was released from a psychiatric hospital without our knowledge and was homeless for several weeks. This experience completely changed my perspective. I will never forget my fears. I regularly interact with homeless individuals now, not just giving money but sitting down and talking to them. Everyone deserves respect. Story 4. Don Henley Boys of Summer. My dad used to sing it to me when I was a small boy. He's gone now, so I try to sing it to my son. I never make it far, especially when I hear it. I miss you, Dad. I hope to sing it all to your grandson someday. Story 5. Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. She was one of my mother's favorite singers, and my mom has passed away now. Story 6. Let It Go from Frozen. It is such a physical reaction that it surprises me every time. I guess it is due to childhood trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder from what I went through with my little sister. Story 7. Christmas Shoes tells the story of a son who is buying shoes for his mother for Christmas. He is in line and does not have enough money. The singer behind him in line gives him the rest of the money he needs. At the end, it is revealed that it will be her last Christmas because she is dying of cancer. It moves me every time. I'm tearing up now. Story 8. Sweet Lullaby by Deep Forest. Even decades later, that song instantly triggers the bad and worst times I've experienced, partially due to the meaning of the lyrics. The lyrics refer to a young orphan being comforted by his older brother despite the loss of their parents. Story 9. The Green Fields of France, originally by Eric Bogle, and the band played Waltzing Matilda, also by Eric Bogle, are both profoundly tragic songs about soldiers killed and maimed in World War I. Story 10. Something about the optimism that quickly turns to regret and a life that seems wasted. Story 11. Two songs evoke deep emotions for me. 1. Father and Son by Yusuf/Cat Stevens. 2. She by Elvis Costello. Since my aunt and her boyfriend passed away, I cry whenever I hear these songs. The first song makes me think of my father, and I can't imagine losing him, especially considering that the children of my aunt's boyfriend have lost their father. I feel immense sorrow for them. The second song was played at my aunt's funeral, and it brings forth ugly tears each time I hear it, reminding me of the incredible person we lost. Story 12. Mine is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I have already informed people that when I die, I want Somewhere Over the Rainbow to be played. Story 13. Mary. Did you know it makes me think of what she would have gone through watching her son endure all that if it had actually happened? Story 14. Lifehouse. From Where You Are reminds me of my grandma who passed away. Story 15. You Have a Friend. I have a distinct memory of my grandpa singing it while we were driving in the car when I was a child. He passed away last summer. Story 16. Songs don't make me cry, but a few come close. Keep Me in Your Heart by Warren Zevon. Have a Great Flight by Yelawolf. Into the Light by In This Moment. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Story 17. Rainbow by Casey Musgraves speaks to every struggle. It has helped me personally through difficult times. It is an amazing song. Story 18. Cinema by Gary Go. Dreaming by Lou Youth and Taylor. Alive by Dabin and Run. Meteor Shower by Owl City. Fire on Fire by Sam Smith. Energy by Carrie Hilson. Unfair by Black. Transatlanticism by Death Cab for Cutie. This Loneliness Won't Be the Death of Me by Being as an Ocean. When You Can't Sleep at Night by Of Mice and Men. Vienna by Billy Joel. Train Wreck by James Arthur. 5 a.m. by Amber Run. Faithfully by Journey. Story 19. Even Though I'm Leaving Luke Combs. This song came out around the time my father passed away, which happened very suddenly and without much warning that any of his children were aware of. I still remember driving to the funeral home and hearing it for the first time, and I just lost it and cried my eyes out. It's been almost 6 years since he passed, and from time to time I hear that song, which makes me cry. It hits me because it reminds me of the pain I felt when he passed and all the memories we shared as I was growing up, looking up to him as my dad and a leader in my life. Story 20. There is a musical called Thrones, a musical parody, which humorously references Game of Thrones. One of the songs is titled Hold the Door, and I can assure you this is not a parody. It is heartfelt and haunting. The music and lyrics are spectacular, and I felt my heart break while listening to it. It used to be available on Spotify, but it has been removed, and I am devastated. Story 21. Name by Goo Goo Dolls makes me think of my son Eric. I lost him 2 years ago. It almost seems like it was written directly for him. Story 22. Highwayman by the Highwaymen. It's not a particularly sad song, but the last verse always makes me cry. Even if he reincarnates as a single drop of rain, he will remain and have some use to someone or something. Honorable mentions to Poncho and Lefty. The whole betrayal story makes me feel blue. Me and Bobby McGee, it's the line, and I'll trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday. Story 23. Definitely who lives, who dies, who tells your story. The last song in Hamilton. When Eliza sings, "Can I tell you what I'm proudest of?" and speaks about the orphanage, I cry every time. I'm tearing up just typing about it. Story 24. No song has ever made me tear up, but Mayonnaise by the Smashing Pumpkins hits in a way that no other song has. Story 25. I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me. It was played for my little sister's funeral. It's hard not to choke up when those memories come back. Story 26. Amor Eterno by Rocio Durcal is about losing a loved one and the grief that accompanies that loss. One day, sooner or later, I will be with you so we can continue to love each other. Story 27. Rockabye, Baby. I know that sounds silly, but my dad sang it to me every night before I went to sleep from the day I was born until he got sick in my sophomore year of high school. It was our special song, and instead of singing Baby, he would sing my name. He had dementia, so I watched him slowly become a shell of his former self. Because of this, every time I hear it or listen to it, all I can think of is the father I lost too soon and desperately want back. He passed away last year. Story 28. 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. My wife set this song to a video montage of our in vitro fertilization journey to have our daughter, and it moves me every time I hear it. I had to leave the grocery store once because it played over the speakers. Our daughter is 8 years old now. Story 29. Boots of Spanish Leather, Bob Dylan. It reminds me of one that didn't work out the way I thought it would. The lyrics are very relatable to how I was at the time. Story 30. Ian McConnell Pair. Story 31. Like a Stone by Chris Cornell. I usually watch the music video to listen to the song on YouTube, and I start crying. Story 32. Marjorie by Taylor Swift reminds me too much of my grandmother. The line, "I should have asked you questions," haunts me. I can't listen to it without crying. Story 33. Modest Mouse Trailer Trash. I'll be honest, not every time, but a lot of times. What a Wonderful World Louis Armstrong can really get to me too. Story 34. Real Death by Mount Erie. The entire album captures him processing his grief and navigating life with his young daughter after losing his wife to cancer. It was recorded in the room where his wife died. It is very raw and heartbreaking. The last few lines in this song always affect me. It's dumb, and I don't want to learn anything from this. I love you. I find myself emotional just typing it. Some other notable songs include Sean by Trophy Eyes, Hurt by Christina Aguilera, Story 35, White Wine in the Sun by Tim Minchin. It was my favorite Christmas song before my dad passed away. Now I just can't. Story 36, Come Hang Out by AJR. As someone who often finds themselves frustrated with projects that seem to follow Murphy's Law, I reflect on the quiet, Simple moments shared with people I care about. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a reminder that our time is limited, and the people in our lives won't be there forever. One day, you may encounter someone for the last time, so go spend time together. Story 37. Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. Life by the Drop by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Into the Mystic by Van Morrison. The last two songs are special to me because they were some of my mom's favorites. Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own by U2 is my mom's favorite song. We said that was our song. We had a tumultuous relationship for a time but became best friends. We wanted to get lyrics from it tattooed together, but we never got to. I will get them one day. Rest in peace, Mom. You're the reason I sing. You're the reason why the opera is in me. I have many songs that remind me of her and make me cry. Story 38. When You're Ready by Brian Fallon. He sings to his child, and it sounds like what my mom would say to me and my siblings as we grew up. We lost her to breast cancer in 2013. Story 39. Truce by 21 Pilots. Next Semester by 21 Pilots. Oldie Station by 21 Pilots. Story 40. Hate Me Blue October. Leave Out All the Rest Linkin Park. Ghost Bad Flower. Zysix Road Stone Sour. I Miss You So Much, Chris and Bernie. Story 41. I spent the first year of the pandemic living in my car. I'm not sure I would have survived without that song. Story 42. Live Overcome. Rhapsody of Fire, The Magic of the Wizard's Dream. James Ingram and Linda Ronstadt, Somewhere Out There. Diana Ross, If We Hold On Together. Story 43. John Legend, All of Me. Lyra Lynn, Least Favorite Life. The White Buffalo, I Got You. Zach Bryan, Something in the Orange and November Air. Story 44. Liana Flores, Rises the Moon, specifically the cover by Egg. It is one of those sobs that comes in the quiet warmth of the night before bed. Story 45. On the Nature of Daylight by Max Richter is the soundtrack of the movie Arrival and has always resonated with me. Story 46. Architects, Gone with the Wind. Written by a member who battled cancer and eventually passed away. This live performance always evokes strong emotions near the end. Story 47. Tomorrow Wendy by Andy Preboy features several songs from the artist. He paints clear narratives with his words. Story 48. Sunshine by Atmosphere is a happy song that makes me cry when I listen to it and sing along. Story 49. Under the Oak Tree, I think it's called, by Cellar Darling. It's about someone who's gone, but it feels like it was written for my soul pup who passed and is indeed under the tree in my yard. Story 50. The song Daniel by Elton John reminds me of my brother, who passed away. He was my best friend, and this song always makes me miss him. Story 51. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor was the song playing when I got dumped in 7th grade, and I still can't listen to it. Childhood Trauma. Story 52. Any Elvis song reminds me of my mother. She once told my dad that since Elvis wasn't going to marry her, she would have to settle for him. He passed away in August, and I still find myself crying like a baby just thinking about him. Story 53. Puff the Magic Dragon. Since having a child and realizing how quickly they grow up and leave their innocence behind. Story 54. I'm not a big fan of Hispanic music, but when I listen to Selena's Bitty Bitty Bom Bomb, I feel emotional. Towards the end, she sings with such passion, and I think about how her life was cut short. Story 55. Dance with My Father by Luther Vandross. I used to love this song as a child, but brain cancer took him, so it makes me weep now. Story 56. Who Wants to Live Forever, Queen? These Are the Days of Our Lives, Queen. Fotograf, It Sheeran. Every Time. Story 57. Since I became a father 12 years ago, I haven't been able to listen to, much less sing along to Arms Wide Open by Creed. Story 58. Forever and Always by Parachute. I cannot listen without crying. Promise Me by Bad Flower. 4th of July by Sufjan Stevens. Kiss It Better by He Is We. Story 59. Creek and Back by James and the Shame. I normally don't like country music, but I tried it out because I love Rhett and Link. I'm a sucker for, I'm your dad and you're my son, and I love you type of content. Maybe because I never received that kind of affection growing up. Story 60. Like my father loves my mother, Jax. I wanted to play this song for my father-daughter dance at my wedding and decided that the first time I heard it a few years ago. Now my parents are divorcing, and their love story has ended without any clear reason I understand. I guess I'm grieving something that never truly existed. Story 61. The Night We Met by Lord Huron. I used to listen to this song while writing with a girl. It went really well and I had such high hopes. But then, out of nowhere, she just stopped texting me. Now, when I hear that song, I feel a wave of sadness because it reminds me of my loneliness. I don't listen to it anymore because it makes me so sad. Story 62. Puff the Magic Dragon by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Slipping Through My Fingers / Like an Angel Passing Through My Room by ABBA. Story 63. Ziggy Marley Beach in Hawaii. In honor of Oliver, our beloved cat, who we will always remember fondly. Story 64. One More Light by Linkin Park. Brother, My Brother performed by Blessed Union of Souls from the Mutuo Strikes Back movie. Story 65. R.I.P. Millie Noiseworks. Almost perfectly echoes my mother's final days. Story 66. Sleeping Sickness by City and Color. It hits very close to home. There are times I have to skip it because I just cannot listen to it. Story 67. What Sarah Said by Death Cab. It doesn't make me cry, but it creates a void that consumes any shred of joy. Story 68. Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits and Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd truly resonate with me. Story 69. The Fixer by Brent Morgan. This song hits close to home. I have struggled with codependency throughout my life and still carry some difficult-to-overcome people-pleasing tendencies. I can't listen to this song without getting emotional. Story 70. Real Love and In the Night by Childish Gambino. Going through a breakup, I attended his concert last year. Unfortunately, I now associate the songs with her, which hurts when I listen to them. Story 71. I Really Want to Stay at Your House by Rosa Walton and Hallie Coggins. Story 72. I listened to it a lot when I was really down. Now I can't listen anymore because every time I try, I just feel pain again and cry. Story 73. Caroline by Concrete Blonde was my sister's favorite song. She passed away, and the lyrics resonate with me deeply. Story 74. Are You Satisfied, Marina? I used to play it all day during my wasted potential gifted child phase, and whenever I listen, I am transported back to that time. Story 75. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The Wizard of Oz was my mom's favorite movie, and now that she is gone, it takes on new meaning. Story 76. I became a girl dad a year ago, and this song resonates with me every time, especially as I witness all her firsts. Story 77. Saturn by Sleeping at Last was the background track of a powerful, emotionally impactful, and truly beautiful episode of Station 19, which is set in the same universe as Grey's Anatomy. Story 78. Mesh by Ali Lewin. I don't usually cry to music, but this song, being part of such a tragic yet beautiful game like Before Your Eyes, makes it impossible to hold back tears. Story 79. July Noah Cyrus. It only hurts when it comes up on my playlist because I am somehow always going through it when it plays. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.